Hello, everyone. Welcome back to more fun in Railroader. It is I, the Anchor Rag Timer, and I am joined by the General, and the General is upset. Be,
Lightly.
uh, let,
I
let's let,
haven't I haven't seen it yet.
so let's just make a little trip. Let's make a field trip over to Dillsboro. We'll go outside of the roundhouse here, because someone's beloved banana train is a little worse for wear right now.
We're going on a trip. Ah, my ears. Just teleported into the coal train.
Yes.
Uh, what did you do to my precious banana train?
Um, so I was trying to. I just phased through a wall. Hold on. Brick walls
Yeah,
don't exist.
yeah, I told you that last time.
But yeah, no. The banana train was left unsupervised for about 15 seconds,
You
and it
left the
decided
banana
that
train
that
unsupervised.
30 miles an hour was the appropriate coupling speed into a stopped rank of cordwood cars on a siding with a bumper.
Aha. So why did you leave it unsupervised going 30 miles an hour in the yard?
Look, I have to run a railroad, and sometimes if I run it with one person, I have to jump back and forth between various pieces of equipment.
And you didn't set up a safety fusee or anything.
No, I was planning on coupling it myself, but two passenger trains and some other stuff just had to make sure it was doing what it was supposed to do.
So, banana train casually doing banana things, doing 30 miles an hour in the yard.
Yeah, the train went bananas.
Uh, you're starting to slip up here a little angry.
Well, nobody's perfect. But yeah, the banana train's getting fixed up. But if you'll look outside on the repair
Hmm.
tracks, you'll see that some of these cars are a little worse for wear. Exhibit
What
A is
did
the
you
first car.
do? What did you do?
So
No.
when the banana train went bananas, some of the cars were a little on the
Uh, crunchy side.
crunched. Yeah, some of them weren't bad. A lot of them
The
were
the the
terrible.
three on the left aren't bad. This one's still at 2%, which makes
It
me
was
wonder
at
how
zero.
bad.
It was completely
Uh,
borked.
so you weren't lying when you said you borked the banana train.
Yes, the banana train was fully borked. I have moved the caboose over here to the sidings, and uh, well, hopefully, because those coal cars are almost empty again, have to fix those
Hmm.
up because they're rattling themselves to bits. But
Yeah.
not the smartest thing I've done. So, in other news, number 7 is also fairly borked up at East
What
Silva
happened
or
to
East Whittier.
seven? I didn't see what happened to seven.
Okay, so number 7 was running AI'd,
Uh
and the
huh.
AI decided that fusees don't matter,
Did it
and
now?
it went off the track at anywhere from like 10 to 15 or maybe 20 or 30 miles an hour, and it got down to about 30%.
Why? It's worse than the banana train.
Yes, it
I'm
is worse than the
thoroughly
banana train.
impressed.
So, in the span of two
And
operating sessions, we had
you
two
you borked two
locomotives
engines.
completely borked.
Well,
And
to be fair, the I think the banana train was also kind of partially borked bef
no, the banana
before you
train was like
started.
at 98.9%. It was fine.
Oh, was
It
it?
was just
Because
natural wear
I'd
and tear.
remember it came off the rails during that 7 hour stream at least once, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, because I think I had a similar story happen to what you were talking about, where it was like I was trying to juggle 90 and the banana train, and a couple other things, and it ended up hitting a car. Because remember we had those damaged cars come in,
Oh yeah. Now I remember.
but I had
Um,
stuck it in. That's why I had stuck it in the roundhouse before we probably about 30 minutes before we ended, and that's probably why I was all the way up there. But still, I didn't see, I didn't wreck it that bad. In other news, the deck is looking pretty nice.
Yes, the deck is in
So,
very good shape. We've been
yeah.
trying to get everything fixed back up to 100%, and
What else got wrecked over the I think did the Burke get wrecked?
no, the Burke did not wreck. But the passenger train had those couple of brown cars. The
Mm-hmm.
engines had like 4 to 5% damage.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look
Number
over at Bryson
two.
right now, number two
Yeah.
is currently sitting on some of the repair tracks, getting
So it's
some
at
love.
100%.
Yes, and I
It's at 100%.
think because I think it just fixed up. Because the engine was fine. The tender
Uh,
was slightly damaged, but the observation car at the end looks like it just finished up, so we can actually get this back on the rails here.
yeah, this whole train looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Um,
so we can at least reassemble it and get it rolling to do its thing.
yeah, where?
Um,
Oh, so you got wow, you got pretty much all the repair tracks with this entire train.
yeah, because my
I think
plan has
you were backing this in at the end of the stream, weren't you?
no. This one's been running for a bit, so
Oh, so that one's good. Number 5 is good. So is number 7 and 50 the only two locomotives that are absolutely borked right now,
yes,
or okay?
everything else has been lovingly taken care of. The log cars and
Lovingly.
some of the cordwood cars are worse for wear, but we can repair them. We have the technology, and having 10 people on staff at all times at all three of our maintenance facilities makes it fairly quick for a lot of these to get done, unless they're at
Mm-hmm.
like 0 or 2%, like some of those cars were.
Yeah. Oh, in other news, I think number 4 is at Ella,
Excellent.
and did you ever make the decision as to whether or not you want to buy some mail cars
Yes, I
and clear
do
the
want to
back?
do that. Maybe
Uh,
today.
yeah, because you have to kind of exit out, go into single player, get those, and then come back, don't you?
Yes, well, there's one problem with that,
So,
and that is the interchange at East Silva has completely filled back up.
oh, has it?
So maybe what we can do is we can work to get that cleaned out,
Mm-hmm.
and then slowly but surely
Croissant.
go ahead and get them cars, and then look at another engine. We are in debt, by the way.
How
19,000.
badly and well, all things considered. But what'd you buy the the 080?
Yeah,
Okay. All things considered, that's not bad.
yeah, and we're still at the money making capacity of making a lot with the freight and
Hmm.
passenger stuff and
I mean,
everything
we paid off
else.
like what 20 grand in debt in one session.
Yeah. So I'm not saying it'll happen again, but
There is the potential.
there is the potential that if we just go ham, we can make all the money.
Ham. And you're clear of the switch.
Okay.
You have about all right, you're all hooked up. But yeah, he was getting my live reaction to how he absolutely decimated my poor banana train and the sad story that is number 7.
So, what was it basically just AI out of control and or just negligence or?
Um, according to my lawyer, I would like to refrain from answering that question for potential of perjury of myself.
Hey,
In case, to avoid self-incrimination.
Yes.
hey, General, did you sign an NDA? Can you tell me?
I signed nothing. So apparently, with the banana train, he was juggling multiple trains and decided that 30 miles an hour was a great coupling speed and came back in and zeroed out multiple cordwood cars. Uh, then with number 7, he claims that allegedly it just pretended that the fusees didn't exist and continued on its merry way straight off the side of the railroad. So,
I,
yeah.
uh,
You know, things happen.
Angry, I don't know if you have. I don't think you have a case in court. So it was nice working for the railroad. I hope that I can be employed by the next owner.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
I expect my last check in the mail, and the lawsuit to be fat. You can declare bankruptcy after I get my paycheck.
This is a monopoly.
I mean, I have stock. Let me sell that off at least.
Oh, jeez.
No, he can't. No, you need 60 days since your last paycheck, and then he can declare bankruptcy.
Well, would that be considered insider trading at this point? Since I know that the railroad would be going under.
That might be insider trading.
No, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure
the feds don't know.
They're not gonna get mad about that. We've only decimated a bunch of. I guess cordwood. I guess there's no environmental disaster.
Yet.
What the feds don't know won't hurt them. Yeah, we haven't gotten to the point where we're really hauling a bunch of dangerous chemicals yet, have we?
No, but we did just start hauling coal, so.
Yeah. But if coal gets spilled, is it considered an environmental disaster?
I think the EPA does show up, but you don't tend to level small towns with coal.
I like the implication there that it could happen.
I mean, everything's possible. I mean, theoretically, if we ran 2 monster coal trains head first, we might be able to take out Bryce, but
I like the odds.
It happens.
Norfolk Southern has entered the chat.
Pretty much.
Where's number 4?
Haven't
There's number 4.
Well, we've had the discussion. You know, Angry's running big monster trains. It's all a part of his precision scheduled railroading expansion on the Murphy brand.
Exactly.
Yeah. Except for we don't have multiple. We haven't had many trains with multiple units at various points in the train yet.
It's coming, don't worry.
That's minorly concerning, but okay.
Alright, so that's going to fill back up.
Also, our numbering scheme is still kind of funky.
Yeah, it needs to be adjusted. But,
wow. A whole $5.
Yeah, they've been sitting on those repair tracks for a while. They probably got a little mad.
What? They probably could have walked to the station, to be honest.
No, it's like being on an airplane. Once they close the doors, you can't do anything about it. Maybe.
Okay. Like, even though the plane says it's leaving at certain time, they close the doors 15 minutes early and won't let you on.
Exactly.
And then they still sit there at the terminal for 40 minutes.
Yes.
Hey, look at the bright side. At least you can watch your plane.
No, you just get to sit there and watch the plane sit on at the terminal. Doesn't even get, terminal doesn't even move. Terminal stays where it's at. Engines aren't even fired up. Just sits there and waits. Just to rub it in, rub salt in the wound.
Yeah. All right, so General, obviously we'll get this train AI'd here in the next few minutes once number 4 makes its way down.
In the meanwhile,
we've got a couple of things going on. So number 6, our Burke, needs to grab the coal cars that are ready and turn around or just back its behind down to Bryson, and then it can start working east to pick up the freight. And then the interchange also needs to be switched out. And I think we're going to start actually using Dillsboro as like a sorting yard, like I think it was meant to be. So I'm thinking one of us can take the new 080 and pull the stuff that isn't going immediately to Silva over to Dillsboro, sort it so it's going to be easily, taken care of, potentially into smaller trains. That way the engines don't have a 40-car slog,
But what's wrong with the 40-car slot?
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but considering the Burt
Wait
can
a
only be
minute.
facing one way on this railroad right now, and
Considering I'm already on number 1, I will, I guess, go ahead and start working the lag. I will go ahead and start working the interchange.
okay.
Is there something you need me to do?
Yes, Tultry. If you want to take number 734, which is currently in the Bryson Roundhouse, and take this train down to the interchange, the freight that's ready to go.
Yeah, I can get that.
Why'd
Cool.
they have to put the handbrakes on all the way at this end? I know why they did it, but still, all the way at this end of the train.
And
I
then
mean, it makes sense for the interchange.
Yeah.
Crew, but
I guess I will then grab the Burke, and I'll start making my way back with the Burke.
the Burke.
Yes. The Burke of all time.
The entire 080 is shaking from this train.
Good, it should.
It's just vibrating.
Wait. Engines vibrate?
It's just vibrating angrily.
Is it not strong enough to move it?
No, it's moving it.
It's the
moving it with no
S51.
issue.
It's the
just-
big
it's
switcher.
the 080, yeah. But it's moving it with no issue. It's kind of like bouncing around on the tracks a lot, and I don't know why. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull this entire train out of this yard and bring it to Dillsboro, because that seems like a smart thing to do.
Yeah. And then eventually the other cordwood cars that are down there, half of them are also borked. Don't ask why. And
Completely unrelated issue.
yeah. So what if I keep wrecking cordwood cars? You have no proof that it's bad for this railroad.
So what if it's the biggest money maker on the railroad? My railroad.
I'll do what I want.
If I want to wreck all the cordwood cars, I'll do it.
Yep.
Screw the investors.
No, we
Screw
can't.
the
We have to
board.
make sure that they're happy. They pay my salary.
Then why do you keep wrecking the cordwood cars?
Because I'm an idiot.
I mean, that's besides the point. Come on, you big train. Back that big train up. The amount of coupler slack I am experiencing right now is unreal.
It happens.
Wow, that didn't couple. Are you kidding me? There we go. Have to run all the way down to the end of the train and knock off these two handbrakes.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Eventually. Just for reference, by the way, this train is 39 cars and 1,936 tons.
Yeah,
right
that's
now
why we're gonna start breaking stuff up.
at
'cause-
Dillsboro.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I think there is a fair bit that actually goes to the tannery, so I can go ahead and tannery,
Well, that
silver
whole
stores.
string is just
Forward.
all for the tannery.
Yeah, so I can go ahead and I'll go ahead and drop that off on the passing side. No, it's like all tannery and silver paperboard. So the rest of it, I think the rest of it all goes beyond like to Bryson.
Well, a lot of it does
Uh,
get broken up down the line, but
well, yeah, it gets broken up. There's like some stuff for Whittier. There's stuff for Ella. Um, any of this, any of this good for the interchange? Anything at all? Nothing. Okay. Also, I gotta say the 080 is taking this like a champ.
I'd originally thought like the 060 that's in Bryson was starting to get too tiny for us. So I was like, oh, well, I'll get the 080. And then I completely borked the banana train. So I was like, well, maybe this is a solution.
I'm looking at this uh prototypically accurate local that I'm running right now.
Yeah.
Biblically accurate local.
This entire railroad is biblically accurate.
Let's see. I think I need to stop right about here before I get the rest of the train across the switch. Which means I need to start stopping now. Train? Train? Okay. There we go.
Why did who's in is someone in number 4? Did number 4 just stop?
I don't know, did it?
Apparently it did. Let's see what's going on with it.
Is it out of water?
No, it's got plenty of fuel.
Oh, it's stuck on the, it's stopping on the, oh, is there a switch against it?
No, there isn't. Oh, there's a fusee down. That's right. I put random fusees down to prevent movements while that train was heading the other direction. We're good now.
So what I'm hearing is you're suffering from your own safety measures.
Yes, my safety measures meant that, yes.
So, have any coal trains been run?
I am currently taking number 6, running it backwards to get to Bryson. So that is returning coal cars. But if you want to take that one over, you're certainly more than welcome to.
Also,
Berg,
is it
right?
just
Yep.
Berg. Also, it could just be me, but the brakes, like the independent brake on, what the heck? But the independent brake on number 1 seems a little soft.
Yeah, it's a odd braking locomotive. That's my official comment.
That is a good way to describe it. Yeah. So let me ask this: how many trains do you want this? I think it's gonna end up being like 20 cars that are gonna have to go westbound. How many?
I would say probably 2, maybe like all the Bryson and West, and then the stuff that goes to like East Whittier, essentially.
Yeah. So pretty much everything Ella to Whittier and
Yeah.
everything Bryson and beyond.
Yeah. Because all the stuff between Dillsboro and East Silva obviously is its kind of own thing.
Yeah. Also, at some point, I am going to have to go cook some dinner.
Lies and slander.
Believe it or not, I actually have to eat. I'm actually going to be trying out a new grill thing that I got for Christmas. It's one of those Ninja wood fire grills.
Ooh.
So I need to try that out.
Cool. So, Storm, which one do you want to take over?
Well, is there anything in Bryson that is capable of doing drags?
So, Tultry just took a freight train out of Bryson heading east on 734. Number 90 is currently just sitting at East Whittier. We do have
Yeah.
cars to pick up at Ella, Whittier, and the Whittier sawmill that need to go east, if you want to do that.
And then soon there's going to be some trains ready to go westbound as well.
And that's not including the passenger stuff, obviously.
Where are
By the way, I
passenger
gotta say
trains?
this Hooter selection I think is on point.
For the locomotive? I was
Yeah.
hoping you'd say that. Number 4 is climbing up to Hemingway. Number 2 is heading east from Ella to Whittier.
I'll just wait for number 6.
Okay. Well, you can take it over now if you want. I'm just pulling into Hemingway, heading backwards with it.
Oh. Alright.
So if you'd like to, you'll have to hold at Hemingway for the passenger train that's coming up. But I can then take over number 90, and I can collect all the local freight between Ella, Whittier, and East Whittier. And then by the time you get down here... oh, I need to throw that switch. I need to throw that switch fast. Da, 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 da. Angry is an idiot. Da, 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 da. Angry is an idiot. That's my song. Now we won't have two trains crashing into each other. But just whistle when you have number 6 if you'd like.
Sure.
Also, you're missing the fairly impressive drag that I'm making to Dillsboro.
But once Storm has control of this engine, then maybe I'll hop over and check it out.
Speaking of which, I'm not going to run face first into anything else, am I? Okay.
Not currently.
Currently. That's the way I like it. Not currently. Just that little bit of extra uncertainty
Yup.
keeps things interesting on the railroad. Also, I like how the 080, which in real life is probably one of the most weeble wobbly looking little engines as it kind of hunts down the track, just seems super stable. Like I'm casually doing 35 down the hill, and it's not really bouncing around a whole lot. Everyone went quiet. Why did
All right.
everyone go quiet?
Dark has taken over number 6. Just be aware you do have a passenger train entering the yard behind you here.
I am aware.
Cool. So we'll go ahead and take care of that since it's now pulling in. It's such a beautiful train.
Which one's that?
The green train.
Ah, yeah. I like that green. It's a nice green. Authentic Southern representation.
Something like that. It's not quite Pullman green.
Not quite. Well, it's more. It's closer to the Southern green,
Yeah.
I think.
All right, Storm, you're clear.
Also, I'm now entering Dillsboro proper.
Okay, we'll be down there momentarily. Okay. Alright, come on. All you bitches get off at Hemingway. All you bitches get off at Hemingway.
Now the real question is, which train deserves the caboose?
Whichever one you want. I'm thinking about we finally buy some cabooses and
Some
try to,
caboose,
you know, but we're gonna get the better cabooses, not the shitty ones.
not the little bobber ones.
Yeah. Because
We're
we've
getting
got
the proper steel caboose.
exactly.
Good man.
Yes.
Are they gonna be nice caboose?
One of them
Very
will
nice
be at least.
caboose.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they're steel. They're going to be nice by default.
Yes.
I will not stand for this slander of wood-sided caboose.
It's only slander if it's false.
Wow. Wow.
Tultry, I think you're picking up that one box car at Ella.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Okay.
Hot take regarding caboose. The wooden ones are only nice on the narrow gauge.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's fair.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean
that's
he's right, but he's not wrong.
fair. He's not. He's not. He's not that far out of pocket.
Haven't seen any steel side ones on narrow gauge though. Do they even exist?
I would imagine.
They probably did.
'Cause, like,
Probably
I
one of
haven't
those-
seen any.
Probably one of those things that it's like the narrow gauge would be like, why would we waste perfectly good steel on a caboose? When we have all these
Because
wooden
they
ones.
don't want to keep repainting and repairing the wooden ones that magically catch fire.
Implying that they repaired them to begin with.
I'm pretty sure you don't want the damn thing, collapsing as it's doing the run.
They only collapse if you do them wrong.
Exactly. And if they collapse, it's all your fault.
Exactly.
Clearly, you did something wrong. I gotta say, I kind of like the chunky new little engine. I like
Right?
it. Yeah, it's nice.
It's cute.
It is.
It's a cute little
Although
chunk.
the 060, the 060 will always have a place in my heart.
Well, that's why we're not going to get rid of the 060. Because that one seems to be doing fine for Bryson right now.
Yeah, but I do agree that probably the 080 is the right call for down here because this is typically where the heaviest trains get broken up.
Yep. Okay.
They need to make it to where we can import logos into the game already.
Someone was working on that, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
We
god, are we
need
gonna be able to
Suffer
get
and
Suffer and Southern?
Maybe.
Yes, we need Suffer and Southern livery immediately.
Oh no. Next thing you know, someone's gonna mod that into Derail Valley.
Lying, someone hasn't already.
Well, I mean, I just checked the mod page earlier, I didn't see it.
Huh. Well, I think in order for that to really take off, we would need to start playing Derail Valley, which that's not multiplayer yet, is it?
No, I think there was a
There's a
mod at one
mod for
point,
it.
but it doesn't work as well as people
Yeah,
thought.
I tried it back when the overhauled update was on its last legs.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I was playing with a guy in France, and it worked pretty reliably. I mean, aside from the fact of if you're, like, on completely opposite sides of the map from one another, it's not that bad.
All right. Well, where's Locust Pen again?
That's in front of the Dillsboro station.
Is it?
But I don't think those
Oh,
cars
yeah,
are ready
that's
to go
right.
yet.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got Schleiermacher and Schist. Pretty much everything. Let's see. There's only, I think, like, yeah, there's only like 8 cars going to Bryson.
Okay. I say that's the one that gets the caboose.
Yeah, I would say that would be because that's longer.
Like a hot shot freight.
Yeah. But the rest is all. Schleiermacher and Schist is in East Whittier, right?
Correct. No, Schleiermacher and Schist is in Wilmot.
Yeah, that's.
Wilmot. Oh,
that's,
yeah, that's right.
That's the
yeah,
sidetrack
yeah.
right next to Wilmot.
The one that you gotta do like the flying switch to get it into.
Or you just take it to Whittier and then run it on an east and put it in that way.
Schleiermacher and Schist is just the biggest pain in the ass to switch out. It's like either way, it's unnecessarily complicated movements and coordinations and fun shit. Or you just flying switch it and be on with it.
Hey, we have an FRA car.
Hey!
Hey, it's the FRA.
They be damned because I'm making a mockery of their name.
Good.
What's DLNW?
Delaware Lackawanna. That's the Lackawanna.
What was it?
Yeah. DLNW is Delaware Lackawanna and Western, aka the Lackawanna.
Yeah. Well, we have a couple of Lackawanna cars then.
I'm kind of surprised that the passenger cars that are in game are not just Lackawanna coaches because they seem to be everywhere in real life.
Yeah.
What are they based on?
The cars in game or the Lackawanna cars?
The ones in game.
I think they're just based off of regular Pullman cars.
I mean, the buy menu says Pullman.
Yeah, I think they're just based off of regular. Because you got to remember, Pullman was like essentially
the coach designer,
the car rental company of the railroads. Because I don't think did they ever really sell their cars, or was it all like
we're leasing you the cars? Did. I don't know. I didn't do a whole lot of research into Pullman and their corporate actions.
Mm-hmm.
I think for a while they made them to be sold. And after like the late steam into the superpower era, or a bit earlier than that, they might have gone off to renting them out. I don't know. I could be wrong. I know for a while that they did sell them.
I thought for like most of the Steam era it was like we're loaning you the cars.
I believe so.
Angry, your comments.
I don't know jack about Pullman, so I'm refraining from making myself look like an idiot.
But that's a brilliant thing. Think of the comment, or the content, and the viewer interaction as they all rush to the comment sections to correct you.
Yes.
Angry doesn't know shit about Pullman.
Yes, that is correct.
The dude who.
And there goes Tultry.
Actually, no, you could probably clickbait the shit out of that. Angry ragtimer misinformed by a furry about Pullman.
That just sounds like a.
That's not going on a t-shirt.
Hell. No.
You could still absolutely clickbait the shit out of that.
That's like almost worse than all the like the 3 a.m. clickbait
It is
titles.
like that bad.
That's almost arguably worse. Also, these cars have annoyed me enough. I'm pulling them off of the bumper so they don't just sound like they're exploding every time you get near them.
Yeah, that is really annoying, to be fair.
Also, why is their destination set to the Dillsboro repair track?
Don't worry about it.
What do you mean, don't worry about it?
Why is there a switch lined against me?
Why are they? Why is that one at 80%? Angry.
Don't
Look,
question
the
it.
pulpwood cars need a little bit of love at the moment.
But I'm still concerned about that. That implies, if that implies what I think it implies you left a switch unflipped.
I don't like that you're all picking on me now.
What do you mean picking on you now? So why is this? I don't need this set right now because that needs to stay unloading. Yeah, these need to stay spotted here. So I don't think those would unload unless they're considered spotted, would they?
Spotted means that they're unloading or at their right spot to unload.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is
Well, the
that
first card
when you
has
have
like 1.6 tons of stuff left in it, so it's almost done. Like,
yeah, but it was like it wasn't spotted because you changed the destination to the Dillsboro repair tracks.
no, it's been unloading.
The icon above it wasn't grayed out.
Yeah, but even still, it was still like doing its thing at the place.
With the people at the thing.
Yeah. By the way, there's a passenger train being hurled down towards you right now.
How close?
Wilmot.
Okay, so I still got time. I got time to kill.
Got
Nothing
killed at
but
time.
Kill the time. Kill the Batman.
Yeah.
Also, that's enough ding ding right now.
Yeah. Let me. I'll
had
get this
enough
other
of the
car for you
ding-ding.
here, Tultry, so you'll be good.
Okay.
And then I would say leave the other cars that are in East Whittier for Storm, because Storm's following behind here with another freight train. Because I also need to switch out some more stuff at Whittier proper. So
Let me ask this: what track is the passenger train coming in on?
currently it should be coming in on whatever set. It normally just goes down the main.
Okay, so it should be fine then. I
Correct.
should not. So what I'm hearing is I should not receive a face full of passenger train.
Hopefully. As long as you didn't throw any other switches.
Yeah, just in case. Not that I don't trust you or myself, but I'm going to double check all that. Yeah, we're good.
All right, they're all yours.
Verify thing.
Oh. This is not the tug of war I wanted.
What tug of war did you want?
Tultry and I exchanging cars.
Wow, the handbrakes do absolutely nothing on the caboose. I hit it at 2 miles an hour and my locomotive didn't even stop.
Wow, $2. But that
The
does mean we can
whole
pay down the
train
debt a little bit.
reduced.
Okay, I'll get out of your way here, Tultry, and then you are clear down to Dillsboro. Also, we should be getting signals soon up to Alarka Junction.
Ooh.
So that'll be nice.
That will be nice. Kertunk.
So here's a question for the group.
Mm-hmm.
If standard gauge was not designed to be 4 feet 8.5 inches, let's say they chose another gauge to be standard, what do you think they would have picked? Would it have been 5 foot? Would it have been like meter gauge? You know, what do you think they would have done?
Personally, I think 5 or 6 foot.
6?
Likely 5.
Yeah, well, 5 would be a nice round, even number based off of the foot system. But
And plus
6
it's
foot,
like 60 inches is pretty even.
yeah, exactly. But 6 foot would be like if they wanted to do 2-yard gauge.
That just seems excessive.
I mean, the Russians kind of did something similar, didn't they?
But they're the Russians. They do everything.
The Russians had 5-foot gauge.
Did they have 5 foot gauge?
They were 5 foot.
I thought it was larger than 5 foot.
No, it was 5.
But yeah, I think
okay, maybe it's like a few inches off of 5, but it's really close to that.
okay. But yeah, I
The
think
only thing
probably
that, to my memory, was ever higher than that was Brunel gauge, and that's like 6.5, I think.
Yeah.
yeah.
Brunel gauge is overkill.
But I mean, think of the amount of if you had like 6.5 foot gauge track running everywhere. Just think of the amount of cargo you could haul per car.
Yeah, but also think how fucking massive the locomotive would be at 6.5 foot gauge in today's era of steam or railroad technology.
Exactly.
It's like
I saw
driving a fucking
video.
building.
Hold up, I need to figure out what gauge that locomotive was that I saw.
Let me guess, was it the Nazi railroad that didn't exist?
No, not that one.
Oh.
It was one that actually existed, and
no.
¿Dónde está that
Es la
video?
biblioteca.
Also, by the way, the hotshot freight's ready to go.
Cool. Tultry is on his way with a freight for the interchange. Storm is currently at Ella with his freight, and Storm, I will have a number of cars for you to pick up at East Whittier when you get here. So if you want to turn your locomotive or do whatever when you get here.
At Ella?
No, at East Whittier.
Oh.
Well, that's the polar opposite of the locomotive I was looking at. Moores Valley Railway Tinkerbell. I think it's like a foot gauge.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. It's a really fucking itty bitty little thing.
It was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny steam engine at 1 foot. Eehee. I don't know.
All right, here's the video. Let me see if it says what gauge it is.
Also, just be aware, General, the freight or the passenger train is waiting on you in Cowie, it looks like.
It doesn't need to be.
Well, it's stopped for a
I'm
red, so there's a switch thrown somewhere.
maybe at Cowie. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Shouldn't be at Cowie, but
Yeah, check your switches, people. Make sure they're lined for the main.
It should be fine. Yeah, it's the. I'm not occupying.
is there a switch thrown somewhere?
That's what I'm checking now.
Like even the one the crossover from the engine servicing lead or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm checking right now. I don't believe I missed any switches. Or am I close enough to that switch to trigger it? No?
Is the dispatcher gonna have to go down there and figure out what's going on?
I found it. It was the one all the way at the very, very end of Dillsboro Yard. Like the complete opposite end. I think that's the one that was holding up the whole shebang. Yep. Got a green board now.
Cool.
Oh, hey, Angry.
Are you here already?
Well, I
It is
just
on
passed
5-foot
your
gauge.
character
Okay.
standing in the dirt.
Oh.
And
Well,
I
my character
absolutely
may be standing there, but that does not mean I'm there.
I know, but I absolutely just took your fucking brains out with the with the tender of the Burke.
Well,
So, okay, so that one is 5-foot gauge. In case you're wondering, do you watch Laurie's Mechanical Marvels?
yes.
Have
Once
you
or
watched
twice.
the one that's called the greatest garden model or the greatest garden railway of all time?
No.
Probably.
Well, the full title is the greatest garden railway of all time with the biggest working steam locomotive in the UK. It is a 5-foot gauge Pacific.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Wasn't ever run in the UK.
I doubt it. I
It
don't
was
think
like
the UK
Australia
ever...
or something.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think it was like a Polish locomotive that I think he said it was like a Polish locomotive that the owner of it dolled up to look like a UK locomotive.
Wait, the Poles had 5 foot?
I think.
Weird.
Hmm.
Never heard of them doing that.
I think at one point they were part of the USSR.
I mean, if they were interchanging with Russia, then it would make sense.
Yeah.
But, like, outside of that, why would they need 5 foot?
I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I genuinely don't know the answer, but I don't know if all the com block or former com block countries had 5-foot or
I do not know.
Or 4 foot 8.5? I don't know
4
either.
foot 8.5.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, that's the entire freight train.
The entire
What?
freight train.
What just happened there,
Yes.
Storm?
Oh, I was free camming down the track to see where the train you were assembling would be, and I have found it.
You found Dillsboro Yard, did you?
No, East Whittier.
He's finding the one I'm building for him here.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yep, and I missed my switch by a fucking mile.
Also, number 2 just got to the station.
All right. We'll let it unload, then we'll send it over to Silva.
Okay. Whittier. here.
Okay, so Angry, I'm gonna move this.
I would say, depending on what you want to do, you can either Y your engine and then come down on the main, because I'm still assembling the last few cars. It'll all be on 2 for you.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably what I was gonna do, because I was gonna say, like, if that's the train right there, which it obviously isn't the entire train, I was gonna say I was gonna leave these cars on track 2 at Whittier. You can shove the whole train together, and while I'm wiring the engine, just back onto it and burn out.
You're gonna burn out a steam locomotive.
I mean,
Probably,
it
if I
does
try
happen.
hard enough. You ever heard of slipping a tire? Well, I'm gonna set the
Yeah,
tire on fire.
Whoa.
We need a wheel slip in
God,
this
that would be
game. Something
funny.
fierce.
Okay.
If it does ever get added, I hope it's as hilariously bad as that one UK locomotive that actually is doing burnouts on the rails.
I think I know
I
which one
hope
you're
it's that
talking
bad.
about. Oh, but genuine question to anyone who may or may not be watching this video in the future, if this part gets left in. 2 questions. First off, did former comm block countries use 5-foot gauge or the Russian gauge? And then second question, one that I'm not entirely sure of. I'm probably sure I've looked up the answer before, but why do European, specifically seems like British locomotives, exhaust a lot quieter than like American locomotives?
It's a
I
damn
used
good
to know
question.
a lot more about British trains. I think it was just the way they were built.
Because like I've watched a video before of one of their little, I forget the name of the railroad or railway, I guess, over there, but it's like one of their little 2-foot gauge museum slash clubs where they're like running all these little 2-foot gauge locomotives around. And then there's just one former sugar cane locomotive, which was, of course, an American built Baldwin, like 040. Or I think it was either a Baldwin or a Porter. I can't remember. But it's a
Probably
little
Porter.
2-foot gauge, and it's just absolutely blowing away all the other locomotives with its stack talk.
I mean, it is American, so.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's an actual legitimate reason for it, but I don't know why.
I really think it is just as simple as UK locomotives purely being designed differently than how we do it.
I mean, there's no arguing that part of the reason is just the PSI of the exhaust or just the PSI of the exhaust going out the stack, like all the cylinder exhaust. But it's just
Maybe.
like, is that a nozzle design thing, or because you see all these little, it seems like you see all these videos of the little European steam locomotive, or I say little, but all the European steam locomotives over there, and they're just all kind of like happily puffing along,
Puffling?
just kind of with their little, yeah, puffling. Well, that's a
Puffling.
that's a British bird, isn't it?
No.
But they're all happily puffing along with their little itty bitty peanut whistles, and then you see videos of American steam locomotives, and they're just all just like, "Here I am, chuff, chuff, chuff," doing the
Yeah.
most basic minor haul, and they're just absolutely, or
Yeah.
doing a heavy load, doing something similar to what you're seeing the British locomotive doing, and it's just like,
Yeah. British road engines doing hard work and, sprinting down the line with a heavy train sounds very similar to an American switcher moving like 4 cars.
no, even American switchers doing yard movements sounds ridiculous.
That's why I said an American switcher moving 4 cars, because like the sound is ridiculous for a switch engine. Like they
Yeah.
shouldn't be that loud.
But they are.
But they are.
They are, but
indeed.
we love it. I don't know. It is really funny just to hear the difference between the two of them. Like,
I mean, it might also be a difference in the size of locomotives involved.
true, because I mean, you calling UK locomotives little, I mean, compared to ours, they're fucking
I mean,
tiny.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. Like, a lot of their Pacifics are pretty massive. They're decent sized locomotives. But I
The
think a lot of their
Pacifics,
locomotives, I think a lot of their locomotives are geared less to freight and more to,
moving butts
Or
and
to-
seats.
yeah, more to passenger movement. Which, that might also have something to do with it. Maybe smaller cylinders, strokes,
True. Maybe it could
big
just be that,
wheels.
back in the day, their trains would have sounded, if not exactly like ours, very similar, because,
Well, maybe
they do
yeah,
have
that could
timetables
also
to
be
keep.
that
They,
could be another thing is they don't run them as hard. Like one of the
yeah,
biggest
like they're
things I'm
babying them.
thinking of right now is like
They don't
Reading
have half the size of the
2102.
trains that they did. So it's like you don't have to put as much into the throttle nowadays as they might have had to do back then in like
You
the 50s.
say that, but I've seen lots of videos of them running like their passenger trains, their steam passenger trains, and they got a lot of cars behind them, and they're
Well, I'm
typically
saying like
hauling.
I don't know because I know the technology. I don't know how the Brits actually run their trains.
But like the biggest thing I can think of right now is like the video of 2102 right after they got it fixed up, hauling all those heavyweights up the hill.
Oh yeah, where it's just hauling supreme Jeeps.
Thundering in the
Yeah,
mountains.
just drowning out a Reading 6 with the stack talk. Also,
Mhm.
side note, where is number 2?
It's still at Silva.
Okay.
It hasn't
Is
been
it going
reset
to
to move
be-
yet.
Is it going to be heading in this direction relatively soon?
I was going to hop down there because I'm currently getting number 4 watered, and then I was going to get number
Okay.
2 set back to go the other way.
Okay. Reason I ask is I am currently making moves and trying to switch out the locust pin stuff.
Okay.
So we can probably divert them around me at the to the actual station track if you're gonna send them my way.
Yes. Then the follow-up question is, Tultry, what is your location? Okay, he is
Is
at...
actually a good question.
He's at
Are you talking
Barker's.
about
Okay.
734?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got time
On
then.
the way to Cowie.
So you're between Barker's and Cowie. Okay.
He's picking up those cordwood cars, I think.
Do you want me to pick
okay.
them up or just?
Yeah,
leave
go
them?
ahead, pick them up. They need to come over.
Okay.
I need to drop these 2 cars. But yes, but that's just like, that's what I'm talking about though, is like, you get videos of like 2102. Granted, that's a massive like mountain type
That's a
locomotive.
northern.
Or northern, yeah, northern
That's
type,
a
excuse me.
beefy northern doing
That's
the thing
like massive beefy northern,
compared
and
to
they
a
were
Pacific.
running it really hard.
Like they stole it.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was like they just fixed it up and they wanted to show it off a little bit, but it's like you hear that versus, and granted that is an extreme example, but you hear something like that versus like some of the UK.
By the way,
locomotives
none of the
running
locust pin cars are going to fit in that siding
Are they actually?
because that one's currently full, so they just need to probably go on one of the 2 stub sidings here. For right now.
Is it the one that has the like
The 4 box
cars
cars
in
or
it?
5 box cars in it, that's
5 box
locust.
cars? Yeah.
And the passenger
does it
train
still
is
have
coming back,
20
and it's going to
tons of
go in
stuff in it?
the passing siding at Dillsboro Station.
How does it still have 52 tons of lumber in this thing? Okay.
And then I would
Alright, in
say
that
if
case,
you
I'll just...
want to, those couple of pulpwood cars that are fixed up here, I'm going to go ahead and set their new destination. Yeah, go ahead and put them on the
Destination.
the local freight. We're going to put those back to Barker's Creek.
All right, so that gets tacked onto the one going towards Ella and East.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll leave the other 3 to get fixed up because that one is still only at 13%.
Oof. All right, so here's, I guess, a question for the class. Should I juggle the locust pin cars so they at least touch the siding and we get the time bonus?
No, because they won't fit with that right now.
No, what I'm saying is it just as long as you touch it, it gets you the time bonus. Like I pull those cars out, put the new ones in, get the bonus, pull them back out, and put the ones that are currently back in it.
Well, here's the thing. The big box car, which is the one furthest in, is almost done. The other ones next to it are... I can't tell which way they're unloading. But
Well,
the long and
that's
short
what
of
I'm
it is
saying
the
is
day is long. We still have a lot of time. So
But we
before
still
the end
have,
of the
like-
day, like we can still get that.
I mean, that's what I'm saying is you still have like these 2 cars on the end which has 30 and 52 tons of dimensional lumber. It's those 2 aren't going anywhere anytime soon.
Correct.
So it's like that's what I was saying is I could just go down here, pull them out really quick, shove the other ones in their place, get the money for them being dropped off, and then just stick them in the yard over here. So we
If
don't
you
have
want to
worry
do that, that's fine. Just be aware that the passenger train is pulling into Dillsboro at this exact moment.
And I also have Tultry somewhere between. Tultry is, what is Tultry doing? Oh, Tultry is working the Barker's side of things. Okay. So I still have a while before Tultry gets here.
Correct. Okay. Number 4 is now leaving Bryson for Ella. And Fusey is down at Ella. I'm going to go back to the... Oh, that's the wrong locomotive.
I see the passenger train coming around the corner.
Let's get back to number 90. Number 90 is going to assume switch pitch duties continually at East Whittier. Hey, look, it's the Burke.
Burke.
It looks like such a massive locomotive compared to those cordwood cars.
I mean, it kind of
it
is,
is.
though.
It is.
Burke.
Das Burke.
Get a foot. Das Burke. Das ist gut, ja.
Ja, das ist ein massive Burke. Ja, das ist ein massive Burke.
You know, that reminds me.
Of?
Getting back on the topic of different countries' trains sounding differently to one another. I was with a buddy of mine. I think it was like a week ago or something. And he pulled up a video of a German decapod moving passengers. My God, those things sound funky.
Well,
Like, funky in a
So-
good way. I want to make that clear. Like,
yeah.
it's weird hearing German steam for the first time.
German steam's something else.
It
Yeah, it
really
kinda
is.
actually.
Like, it's cool. But
Yeah.
what? I was actually
I mean,
quite surprised to learn that their whistles are kind of similar to the UK.
It literally
think
is
that's
more of
just
just an
kind of a-
alarming device at a high pitch to get your attention rather than a
sounds
here's
nice.
something nice for your peoples.
Yeah.
True.
Which
Like, I figured the
I think
German
that's
whistles
the-
still would have been deeper, like closer to American, but
Well,
not quite
It-
what I was expecting.
I think that's just a common European thing in general. Is just high-pitched whistles. Just really kind of pretty much peanut whistles,
Yeah,
which is
maybe.
kind of funky if you think about it. Um, but I mean, hey, it works, and they've been using them for years, so clearly there's something to it. But I guess, everything European to an American seems funky. Because we're just like, why would you do it that way? Because we do it this way.
Got a point.
But, like, one thing I've never quite understood is the European obsession with tank locomotives.
They do have a surprising amount of tank engines over there.
I mean, I get that they're useful. I mean, especially if you're running, like, short hops around and you don't want to turn your locomotive around.
Mm-hmm.
But the amount of tank locomotives that they had, like, even articulated
It
locomotives.
is an absurd amount of tank engines.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Like, don't get me wrong, I like tank locomotives. And part of the reason why I think I like American tank locomotives so much is because there weren't really a lot of them. So, like, you see stuff like on the New York Central or the what you call it? Wow, I'm having a stroke. Some of the northern railroads, like with the Hudson tank locomotive or those little Forneys that I've shown you pictures of hundreds of times at this point, probably. Just those things just kind of come off as unique and kind of cute. But once again, it's like
Mm-hmm.
outside of industrial settings, we don't really have a whole bunch of tank locomotives.
Mostly because a lot of our main lines are just
Massive.
significantly longer.
Yeah.
Hundreds of miles longer. So we
mean-
kind of developed a necessity for tender engines to do mainline work pretty much right out the gate.
But I mean, like even then, you could make the argument that maybe more tank locomotives could have been around, but it's like you could also make the argument that it's just like most European railroads seem to stick tank locomotives where a tendered locomotive probably would do just as well.
True. But then again, you also got to take into consideration the UK is a lot smaller of a country compared to us.
Yeah, fair
And that's
They
their
don't have
problem.
hundreds of thousands of mile long main lines like we do.
Well, they also kept making steam locomotives well into like what the 60s and 70s.
Mm-hmm.
They were still very relevant at the dawn of the diesel age. So, yeah.
I think it was more of at a certain point, British railroads were just like, "Hey, you have a napkin drawing of what you think an engine should look like. Here's a couple $100,000. Go build it."
Pretty much. Which
Which,
explains a lot of really fucking weird tank engine designs.
Which, I mean, good for them, but still, at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But we never
and
sent
that's
that
part of
passenger
why-
train, did we?
No, it's still just kind of
Okay. Tultry will do a meet at Cowie. Just as an FYI.
Alrighty.
Why am I struggling so much? Holy shit. Oh.
Is
I
there a
understand
handbrake
now.
on?
No.
Is there
This is a 2,500 ton train.
2,500-ton train?
2,508 tons.
That the coal
32 cars.
Mainly pulpwood again.
drag? Oh, mainly pulpwood. Okay. Of course, it's mainly pulpwood. I almost think at
I
this
have the
point,
throttle wide open, and this thing's only going 15 miles an hour.
you might. Where are you at?
Wilmot?
About half a mile out of East Whittier.
Really?
Yes,
struggling?
open the map.
You might need a
The Burke
helper
is
locomotive.
struggling.
You might need to pull 90 out of the siding.
I can come
Hang
down
on.
and act as a pusher if need be.
Hang on, I have some room on the
Because
throttle.
if you're doing 15 out of East Whittier, I don't think you're gonna make it up the hill to Cowie.
Yeah,
I've apparently also heard that it's pronounced Cowie, not Cowie. I don't
It
know
is
if that's
Cowie.
Cowie.
yeah, it's Cowie.
Cowie. You know, I feel ashamed. I should probably know this, being
The resident Southern liver person.
Yeah. But this is the South, so we pronounce things how we want to.
Okay, I have good
That's
news. I'm about half a mile an hour away from 20.
But that's like, and you know, it's a very good question as to how it actually is pronounced, because, like with Cowie, if it is, well, yeah, Cowie, I guess. Looking at it spelled that way, you wouldn't pronounce it that way. That's like
True.
there's a small town near where I grew up called Chesney. Well, Chesney is what the actual official pronunciation of it is, because it's like Chessnee. But everyone, including the people that are from there, call it Chesney. Like they pronounce it with a Z. Might have accidentally revealed roughly the location where I was.
I mean, you did say near you. You didn't like give anything.
Well, yeah,
super
that's still a
specific.
broad area of.
Anyone who wants to dox the general, please email us at angryragtimer.
You actually have my address.
I do. And for the right price, you too may learn where the general lives.
Okay,
Well, to be fair,
it's a 30.
I don't know if you have my most recent address, do you?
I don't. Not since you moved.
Yeah, you have it from when I was still in the better Carolina.
If you want to dox some random dude that unfortunately moved into General's old address,
Let us know in the comments below.
Well, no, the problem is that actually that old address is actually still the address that I think that my parents are living at. So
if you want
let's
to
not.
dox General's parents, for only
Please
$90,
include a $100 bill
$99.99.
and a handwritten
Yeah.
note to the following address.
No, I mean on the opposite side of that, if you want to start sending like money and stuff there,
No, to my address, and
Still
then I tell
cool.
them where you are. You know.
I mean, like I could get a cut of that, right?
So, Storm, what would you like to spend General's money on?
Wow. Just acting like I'm not even here.
I don't know. I do want to buy more toy trains, so. Oh,
You
wait,
and
I'm
me
sorry.
both.
Model trains.
Well, what I'm hearing is you could use the money to invest in getting angry 7.5-inch gauge.
In Dogecoin.
Using
True.
Dogecoin.
Alternatively, that money could be better spent on helping me develop my HO gauge.
Ah, yes, the hoe gauge.
Yes, the hoe
Shut
gauge.
up.
I mean, it is the gauge that gets passed around the most, so.
Also, I wanted O gauge, but I found out that it wouldn't fit where I live. So, I mean, at least with HO gauge, it's probably is it the next smallest down from O gauge?
Yes. Well, technically there's
Yes.
S, but we don't
Well,
talk
yeah.
about S here.
I mean, S is a pretty neat gauge. Oh, hi, there's a train. There's a train coming at me. Hi. Who's running that train?
Need me to stop it? I can.
I'm diverting you off to the side.
Okay.
I just didn't expect to see a whole ass freight train rounding the corner in front of me as I shoved back into the yard.
I just kept approaching because I saw the yellow signal.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what the signals are for.
But I mean, yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
I
HO
figured you were still
gauges.
sitting in Cowie.
Oh no.
By the way, please make sure to
train's sitting
follow
in
all
Joey.
signal orders on this railroad. Thank you. It's for your safety.
Well, I still had that was the thing. I still had a yellow too. Also, I think number 2 needs to be cleared at Cowie.
It is.
I can. Is it now? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh fuck. That means I'm gonna
but-
have to do a meet at Barker's.
Yep.
Fuck, and that's right before the hill.
Yep.
But
Oh. Have it
Yes.
fucking send it into Barker's.
Oh, it's going.
Make it put the
Yes.
throttle on the ceiling, goddamn.
It is set to go to 45, just so you know.
Okay, good.
now, does that mean it will run at 45 the whole way, or will it just will it still
Yes.
stick
When
to
they've
track
reached
speed?
tack speed, yes.
So it will still adhere to track speed, but it'll open it up to that if it
Yes.
can.
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, Dark, exactly what you're talking about with HO scale is kind of what I'm running into right now. Because I kind of have O scale. I have O and 30 at this point, and I'm kind of committed to it just due to the amount of equipment I have. And so it's like one of those things of, yes, I could sell it all and try to start over. But would I be better to do that? Because I still want to model narrow gauge. And in terms of price points, ON30 is about the lowest I can go. Or is it's about the lowest you can get. Ask Midland. He's into HON3.
I mean, I personally am happy with just a model railroad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, preferably
Speak-
one that I can just throw into, like, a designated room in an eventual house I would like to get. And, you know, to where I don't have to worry about, like, oh shit, is this too big? Am I going to have enough space to model everything I would like to?
Well,
And HO kind of fits that niche.
I saw trees in the sky.
What?
Trees in the sky.
I saw trees in the sky.
But, yeah,
Ah.
HO fits the niche where it's like, okay, it's small enough I can have a decent-sized railroad, and it'll give me much less concerns about things not being able to fit on the layout. And there's still a decent like level of detail involved at that scale. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Don't get me wrong.
if I wanted to, I could technically still throw in like narrow gauge somewhere, I think.
Yeah. Well, I
Just
mean,
getting
don't get me wrong.
fixed up.
Originally, I had intended on modeling
Okay.
HO scale originally, and then I started getting into narrow gauge, and I discovered ON30, which it's just kind of that really kind of funky scale, and it opens a lot of opportunities to be kind of creative with it. But once again, it's O scale, so it just takes up much more room. Like if HON3 or HON30 was a lot bigger thing, you didn't absolutely have to kit bash everything. I would be a lot more open to it. Why am I hearing the banana train moving? But since I think HON3 is pretty much a gauge that hasn't really been touched by any major company since like the 80s, it's really hard to find any sort of equipment for. Also, I need to interrogate you, Angry, later about a certain company.
About what company?
Starts with a B, and because I recently saw their product release, and I saw some things related to a certain railroad, but I was very disappointed.
When do I not disappoint you?
Oh shit,
Alright,
there's the
well,
passenger
let
train.
me-
It showed up way later than I was expecting.
Yeah. I will be right
Oh
back.
god damn it, get in the fucking siding, you bitch.
Look, I will throw the switch for that siding the moment the passenger train is through. So just keep
Please, 'cause
moving.
I'm crawling at 10 miles an hour and I really don't want to go any lower.
Then as soon as it's passed, you're clear.
Oh, thank god. Move, you big bitch.
Oh, look, you actually threw the switch for the passenger train. That's nice of you.
Yeah, because I'm considerate for other trains on the railroad.
Oh.
You know, where I can make sure they can adhere to the timetable that we definitely have. That's definitely not a very unsubtle jab at literally all of you.
Wait, we have a timetable?
We had a turntable. Maybe.
Emphasis on had one. Jackass.
I resemble that remark.
I know you do.
Oh, those are all the other direction. Okay. Okay, so we'll go ahead. Put
But
a
genuine
foozy
question,
down.
why is the banana train out?
The banana train's here to help.
Okay, but what is there to help with is the question.
Pulpwood?
Pretty much everything's... Oh yeah, I haven't touched the pulpwood yet. I guess that's fair. I haven't touched any of the pulpwood cars yet.
Alright. The question
Uh,
arises, can the Burke make it up the hill?
Burke. I can grab 90 as a rescue locomotive if need be.
90's currently up on the logging hill, just as a FYI.
Why is
Motherfucker.
90 up on the log? Oh yeah, because you absolutely demolished 7.
I don't think I was the one who demolished the 7. I think Mother Nature decided that certain actions were done without the consent of the ragtimer.
Mm-hmm.